All right,
Yeah, I can't hear it.
give me 1 second. I just learned this trick. I'm hoping this works now. The National Black MBA Association. Is that better? Annual conference.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Not an event that took place in one city, but a virtual experience. It was. Then it went back out there.
Yep, it was good, and then it disappeared again.
Oh, wow.
We're on hand to interview our next generation of leaders. Over the course of 3 days, our 50th anniversary theme, Celebrating Visionaries, came to life for nearly 10,000 conference registrants, giving them the tools, resources, and motivation to become more successful. As always, the NBMBAA Conference and Career Fair educated, connected, and inspired Black professionals. More importantly, this year's conference demonstrated that no matter the obstacles, no matter the challenges, we as a community have the power to move forward, succeed, and realize our limitless potential.
Well, I hope everyone was able to hear that and get the gist of it. It is on YouTube, but it was a challenging year for us, but I was really amazed at how our national organization came together and tried to make a very great experience, from even the networking and happy hours and uh, parties that we had with DJs. So it was great. You will see more of our virtual programs from a national standpoint, as well as our chapters. And I think from a chapter standpoint, it has allowed us to really work together as a broader organization and share some of our talents and some of our resources. So, I just wanted to share that because I thought that was just a really great recap. And again, I, introduced our team, but wanted to just go for some of those that are not familiar with us. The national organization was established in 1970 and was really dedicated to really helping young African Americans within the community and setting up a partnership with businesses and look at a wealth of different organizations in the public and private sector. We want to really strengthen the belief of community as well as economic and educational development. The organization has a lot of different educational opportunities, not just the United States, but globally. And then we have chapters all across the country, as well as we have a few university chapters as well. So as you can see, we have 45 professional chapters. There are 27 collegiate chapters, and the benefits of the organization between the monthly seminars, webinars, newsletters, is just kind of staying informed, staying socially engaged. We're always excited about some of the opportunities with some of our partners, the access to our membership, both locally as well as nationally. There's a lot of subscriptions and discounts that come with it, but I think the biggest thing is that we'll get plugged in with a lot of different organizations and resources and the opportunity to network. Here you can kind of see on a larger scale some of our chapters across the country. I will kind of point out that for Tennessee, it's really unique. For us not to be the capital with having Nashville on the other side of Tennessee, we get a lot of questions now from Nashville residents trying to reach out to us. And I think that's one of the benefits of us really working on our virtual reach, is that we're able to cater to those members that may possibly live in Nashville and want to stay connected. I think that's a great opportunity, because before it was like a void, but now it is something that we're getting better at reaching out to them. But these are some of the chapters across the country. We meet again as far as leadership with our vice presidents of membership as well as presidents on the national level monthly, as well as participate in a lot of the different events now virtually around the country. So it's been a great opportunity to engage with these organizations. But for most part, you know, what I like to point out is that a lot of our corporations have multiple seats in multiple countries and states. And so this gives you an opportunity to still stay connected. So I'm a transplant here to Memphis, but I've been a part of the chapter in Detroit. And it was really, for me, that first few months here, it helped that I was able to connect with Robin, Alicia, and Kamisha and become a part of this member. It was something I reached out to immediately, and they welcomed me in arms. And so it was a great opportunity because, again, that connection and the friendship that I've met from people across the country has been fantastic. What I want to do now is kind of transition into our local membership and history. Again, we've been here for a while as well. This chapter was established in 1993 with 36 charter members. We have a lot of members that are still engaged for a lot of different areas. So some experienced senior members in executive positions that have still those positions today, but also retired, and they're still constantly giving back and advising us and supporting us. Again, our focus here locally is for education and career exploration. I'm big on exposure. And so how I can help our team deliver that to our members is important as far as leadership and professional development, and then economic prosperity. I will say one thing that a lot of people kind of give us a eyebrow look, and it's kind of strange, is that the National Black MBA, you don't have to have an MBA to be in a National Black MBA, and that always kind of throws people off. First and foremost, you're going to have a lot of students that are looking into whether they want to get a business degree or whether they want to take their degree that they have in engineering, mathematics, arts, etc., and then look at getting an advanced degree. And so, of course, naturally, you're going to have a lot of people asking questions and want to know, is getting an MBA the right plan for me? And so, yes, we have a lot of students and undergraduate members and potential members that are asking about it. But the biggest thing is that it's a business-minded organization. And so that's what we're really looking for. There are so many opportunities that we can learn from entrepreneurs that may not have that traditional MBA experience, but definitely have something to lead us with and provide some insight. So I always like to kind of bring that up and explain that a little bit, and because it's important. And I think that's, you know, if we look at some of our organizations, there are a lot of different leaders that may not necessarily have an MBA, but they are leading business groups. And so sometimes the experience that they have. And as you also see too, on the right-hand side, our different social media aspects, and how we're staying connected with Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, as well as email. I can't say it enough how great it is to have Robin on our team. She is very diligent on making sure we are putting information on it. She hasn't had to bother me and harass me over the last 9 months or so about taking pictures, because we haven't been meeting in person. So I guess I got a little lucky with that. But we are really making sure that we share some of our members' achievements, as well as a lot of the events that we're doing. I'll pause there to see if anybody has any questions.
Daryl, I would just like to add on top of, I'm sorry, was somebody else asking a question? Oh, maybe not. I would like to say that in regards to, I have an echo. Can you guys hear an echo?
You sound fine, Robin. You sound perfect on your end.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, see, I hear the echo on my end.
You do? Okay.
Uh,
I hear the echo. Maybe if everyone else mutes, it will stop the echo on your end.
Can you hear it now? No. Okay. What I was going to add is that to your point, Daryl, about the MBA Association, you don't have to have an MBA. So one of the earlier slides that Daryl did show was the history of the organization, which the organization was founded by MBAs for MBAs, but over time, of course, it has expanded, it has grown, and we do have a large student membership population, as you stated. However, I also would like to talk about just mention, and he's going to get into this more in detail, what we can offer the professionals as well. Students are very important to the organization because MBA students actually started and founded the organization, but it has definitely emerged and has grown into more. So I just wanted to throw that in because a lot of times people ask, well, I thought you had to have an MBA, and then they wonder, well, how did you get the name? I've had that question asked as well. So just wanted to throw that in, Daryl, along with what you said.
Thank you, Robin. All right, I'm managing trying to see faces in the presentation. I haven't really mastered that in my Zoom exploration. So thank you for being patient with me. We do have 5 channels, and I'd love to kind of go over this really quick. These 5 channels of programming is something that is kind of core. It's kind of like our tenets, our value, and our mission. Education, career, entrepreneurship, leadership, and lifestyle. And all of our programs fit in those buckets, and we actually get graded, you know, as far as our chapter of the year and how successful we are being as far as a chapter. It's, you know, in these different areas, we've been charged to continue to support. But again, you know, for education, we really want to, you know, develop that capacity to help people absorb and apply the knowledge. As far as career, helping them look at the new skills and core competencies that they have for entrepreneurship, financial literacy. And this is something that is also important too in our LOT program, our Leader of Tomorrow program, which we'll go into a little bit later as well. And then leadership. And I think these are, again, things that we have in common with all of your organizations, but helping people achieve those outcomes and navigate challenges, especially after 2020 and what we've experienced, and continue to see what our next normal is. And then lifestyle, provide a sense of community. I think it is very important that companies not only think about what they're doing as far as profit and growth and for their employees, but how are they being a good steward and being a part of that community. That is something that is very huge. So the way the citizens of Memphis and the Mid-South look at all those companies that are in this area and what they're doing, I think that has a huge, huge impact on people saying, that's the organization I want to be a part of, and that's the organization I want to strive to work for. So those are something that I always like to pick. And then one thing also I wanted to do with the slide, and it's changed slightly, but I showed the slide or the video about our national organization, and a lot of organizations, when they think of the National Black MBA, they think of the conference that happens one time in September. And that's a very transactional relationship, partly because corporations are looking for those that are looking for jobs, and then individuals attending are looking for a job opportunity at that time. But we all know things change. We all know, you know, situations change, not only for companies, but also individuals. And so what you see here is in every situation, career, education, entrepreneurship, leadership, and lifestyle, one thing is consistent, and that's the local chapter. And so this is how we really help your organization feed into the community, as well as get embedded and fulfill that full value proposition of the National Black MBA. Now I'm going to quickly go in a view of our chapter, just so you can kind of understand what are some of our goals, what are the metrics we're looking at, and how we've kind of, you know, traveled and you know, really navigated through 2020. We currently are at 214 members. It's a split about 67% females versus males. We can see we have demographics that are actually very uniform between our core groups. When we're looking at the ages of 46 to 55, the 36 to 45, and the 26 to 35. Those are really when we're looking at the individuals that are early career, mid-career, and experience. And so we have something for everybody, as kind of Robin mentioned before, those that have traditional MBAs and were members and lifetime members from when our organization started, from this chapter started, up to the young students coming through. And so again, you know, we value all of our partners. Tonight, there are not just corporations, but we've also invited some of our academic university partners here as well. And so I'd be remiss to say, you know, when we're talking about the age thing, our chairman of the board, Donald Comer, is local. He is a vice president at FedEx, and he is the chairman of the board for the National Black MBA. And I kind of steal this from him. I kind of change it a little bit so he doesn't accuse me of plagiarism. He's, you know, we have a little joke, but something he says often is that all of us go through our careers in 3 different phases where we're sitting here learning, we're earning, and then at certain points we need to start sharing what we know. And so I think at those different age groups, that's where those different things that we're trying to do is, you know, really trying to learn our profession, learn how to have all those business acumens, and then actually earning the right to lead those teams. And then there's a point where our experienced MBAs, even in this organization, have an opportunity to share their experiences with the young MBAs in our organization as well in our companies. To give a little more idea of what our demographics are, we have, again, as I mentioned before, a Leaders of Tomorrow program that is based on our high school students. So we have a group of those students. We have, again, as I mentioned before, the bachelors, we have some other masters, and then you can see the bulk, to Robin's point again, majority is MBA, but we also have some professional degrees and others that may be engineers, could be law as well. And so again, the bulk of our membership is MBA, but again, we have a lot of professionals that are also like-minded and have interest in this organization. And then to the right, you also see a little difference of what industries that's unique to the Memphis area. To no surprise, you would see transportation and logistics being the bulk of it, but we have a lot of different members that are in manufacturing, human resources, nonprofit, IT, and even accounting. So we have a really good breadth and distribution of a lot of different experiences throughout this organization in this chapter. So here I wanted to kind of do a high level overview, and Kamisha will kind of go into this later in more detail, but it was definitely a lot of change this year and some engagement in some of our signature programs. One program that we do every year, our largest signature program, was our Visionary Luncheon. We unfortunately did not have that last year in 2020 in April, because it was really at the height and uncertainty of the COVID pandemic. But we did select scholarship winners, and we tried to honor them as best as we could on social media. So we weren't able to do that, but I did want to point out in the first quarter, we had really a great start. Our January meeting, we had over 50 people attend for our membership drive. In February, we hosted a new event that we actually are going to do this year again on a larger scale with our national organization in March. But we did behind the boardroom insights between executives, and it actually featured Donald Comer, again, executive and board chairman of the board of National Black MBA and vice president at FedEx, but also Reginald Porter, who is the senior vice president at St. Jude. And it was a really great opportunity to hear them have like a fireside chat and talk about their role and how they kind of grew and learned how to be leaders and just actually share from each other. So it was a great opportunity for us to do some Q&A with them. And then we did an event that we started doing for the last couple of years, headshots and handshakes. And at that time was pretty much at the early stages of COVID, where surprisingly, we got through it with no problems, but we had a large group that showed up, and more than 90 people. And it was a great opportunity for us to do that and for that event. And then we started to adapt to what I call the next normal, and it was really around innovative engagement. So I did want to point out again, as I mentioned before, we didn't have our Visionary Luncheon, but it kind of gave us a time to figure out where we needed to take a pause and adapt. And again, I can't thank my team with Kamisha, Alicia, and Robin, how we came together and said, all right, let's figure out what we need to do, how we're going to move forward, how we're going to stay engaged. And they quickly came up with a plan to have a May webinar series. And so we did 4 weekly lunchtime webinars focused on financial management, brand management, leadership, and entrepreneurship. And it was great, really short and sweet. We were concerned about the early Zoom fatigue. And so we wanted to make sure we were short, quick, and had some lunchtime discussions. And so that was kind of the beginning of our adaptation to this virtual world. And then many of you may have participated also in our virtual career showcase. And so we did it in person previously, but this year we kind of worked and focused on several groups and several organizations. And I think it was great this time because we actually spread it out throughout September before our national conference. And so every Tuesday and Thursday, we featured a specific organization and we were all focused on them. So I think it gave us an opportunity to really allow those corporations to deep dive and share a little bit more about their culture. And as I mentioned before, what they're doing for the community here in the Mid-South, but as well as kind of highlight some of their hot jobs. Our other signature event, the Harvard Business Review, we've done for several years with our partners at the University of Memphis School of Business. And it was great this year because we turned it into a virtual panel. It was actually a great turnout, the largest turnout we've ever had. It was record-breaking in attendance. We had 6 powerful senior VPs and directors from some major corporations throughout the Mid-South, and they talked about something very relevant. And again, everyone's talking about COVID, and there was a lot of things going on this year, but we wanted to try to figure out how can we make it more relatable to those that were in the corporate arena, and how to cope with the always on feeling was just an amazing, amazing discussion and topic. Not only all of those leaders, but just hearing about, what they struggle with, as well as, senior managers, mid-level managers, and even entry level. And then finally, we started actually working with a lot of different professional organizations just a year ago. And we started with the Memphis the Memphis Winter Soul Mixer. And it was an opportunity for us to work with professional organizations and have a joint Christmas party and do a fundraiser. So virtually, we definitely couldn't do anything because that was the time where we had a second, maybe even a third wave. So we decided to switch to something virtual, but wanted to also make sure we were able to give back to kids and the charity. So we did continue to work with the Mid-South Toys for Tots. We partnered with NASI, the National Association of Health Service Executives, and then Philip Ashley's Chocolate. We used his location as a drop-off spot, and we were able to donate over 100 toys. So definitely challenging year, but really wanted to point out, I think, some highlights to what we did this year. I will take a pause here to see if anyone had any questions. All right, well, feel free also to send anything in chat as well. And then I would be remiss to talk a little bit about what some of our team members and our executive team has done, because I think it's really great that we lead by example. So, I had the pleasure and opportunity. I've been relocated here to Memphis, and I worked in our spine division at Medtronic, but I was actually promoted to being a senior global program manager for our heart failure therapies. And so that was a great opportunity. It's a global role. Thanks to COVID, I did miss out on quite a few trips to Europe, Vienna being one of them. I kept singing Sound of Music for a long time until that got canceled, as well as Australia and Japan. But it was a great opportunity, and enjoy being able to continue to work here from Memphis, but support our heart failure therapies. And February is about heart disease and heart failure. So I'll put that shameless plug in because it is something that is huge and important in this community. But I also wanted to highlight some of our other members as well. Again, Robin Tucker, VP of Operations, she received the Purple Promise Quality Award, Bravo Zulu, and Process Improvement and project recognition. So I was really proud of her. So congratulations on her for that. And then also last but not least, Black Enterprise. This was very amazing. And I know Cynthia Daniels, a lot of people are aware of who she is locally, but she was recognized for her Juneteenth Shop Black virtual experience. And again, not only was COVID a big impact, but there was a lot of social unrest and there was a lot of things that people focus on negatively, but Cynthia continues to really pour into the Memphis community and the Mid-South community with helping small businesses. And I think that was a great opportunity for her and this area. She helped promote over $1 million in revenue for these small businesses, but it got national recognition with Black Enterprise. And so it was really great to hear some of our leaders not only get recognized locally, but nationally. So I wanted to share that as well. So with that, I'm going to pass it on to Kamisha so she can kind of talk a little more about partnering us. Kamisha.
All right. Well, good evening, everyone. Sounds like, do I have an echo now? Am I good? Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kamisha Wilson. I have been a member of the National Black MBA Memphis chapter for more than 10 years now, which sometimes when I think about it, I was like, whoa, was it that long ago? So I'm going to talk a little bit today about how you can partner with us and some of the great things and reasons why it's important to partner with the chapter. So one of the great things that we have is our Leaders of Tomorrow program, and it is a mentoring program that it's a national program, but we do have it. It's a national MBAA program, but we do have it a chapter here locally, and the program has mentors for more than 8,000 talented students, and we just teach them through the program and about leadership development, preparing them for college, business, helping them to understand the business world, financial literacy, college preparation, and career. This program offers participants resources, knowledges, and opportunities through their mentor relationships, scholarships, and internships for our local lot. Right now, Alicia Hill actually leads this group, and she is building a strong board of mentors to continue to get involved with this group. So we are excited about them and about the work that we do here. I want to say that each year, and I don't know if this has changed due to COVID, we used to take our kids to have a business case competition each year, and then we would give them a case. They will build a presentation and a solution around the case, and then they will present it in front of everyone. They would present the case to a group of judges, and then the judges would, they would decide who was the winner, and then from there, a group from each chapter will be awarded for their participation. So our Leaders of Tomorrow here, next slide, Daryl. So the Leaders of Tomorrow program here is for 9th through 12th graders. When you get to the high school levels of 10th, 11th, 12th, we usually let our 10th, 11th, and 12th graders participate in business competition. And it just helps the students to prepare and get ready for college. So this is an area for business partners that are looking to engage in mentorship and business program with high school students through affinity groups. This is an area where a lot of our partners has found success in chapters across the nation. They support the LOT programs. They help us build out the college prep courses, and they actually teach some of those classes. Some of the employees from this group, some of the employees from the partnering companies actually help the students prep for their business cases. So there's a lot of space here where partners can be engaged with our Leaders of Tomorrow program. And it allows for a lot of creativity and flexibility, because there's a benefit on one side where you're getting your staff the opportunity to present and work in the community, whereas you're also building up the community by helping to prepare these students that are part of the LOT program. Next slide. So if you're interested in working, if you are interested in being a part or being a mentor for this program, we can connect you as well if you're interested in your group or associates being mentors. We have committee members, a committee member level where they assist in planning and execution of some of the events for the chapter. We have monthly meetings, which now may be virtual. And Alicia, if you're on, you can correct me in this part. I know that we were doing virtual meetings, but we are in the process of maybe revamping how those meetings look right now. So do you want to talk a little about
Correct.
that? That's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
right now we're looking for another place to host those meetings. So that's one reason why we had originally started to go virtual before COVID hit. And then once COVID hit, we decided that we really need to figure out another way to stay in touch with the kids, to do things more virtually. So we're doing that, as well as looking for a location. So even if you guys would like to help host a location, we were doing it at International Paper. So if you guys are interested in the program at all, or would like to at least allow some space available, that would be great as well.
Yes. So there's an opportunity there. Like I said, we're always looking for mentors. And the other piece of it is we're looking for mentees. So if your staff members have children that may be between the ages of, be between the grades of the 9th and the 12th grade, their students or their children can actually be a part of our LOT program. So as a part of that, they will participate in the monthly LOT events. They will have mentorships. So as a partner, you can invite your staff to have their students or their children to be students that participate in this program as well. Next slide. So we talked about LOT, and that's just one of the ways to get involved. But now, as you know, everything is virtual right now. So we have a lot of different ways where you can get involved. You and your teams can get involved, as well as a volunteer with the chapter. So of course, we have monthly meetings and programs. So there's places where if your team or if your company is looking to be more present within the community, then they can come in and teach some of those workshops that we have. They can be panelist speakers on some of those topics that we present throughout the year. And they can really engage with us through those monthly meetings and our programs. For the community outreach volunteer opportunities, we do several projects throughout the year within the community. Daryl talked about the Winter Soul Toys for Tots that we had to do as a drive-by this year, but having partners that can help provide volunteers for those type of events, as well as partners that may want to sponsor one of those events in conjunction with us. So this is an area where organization and partners can get in, they can get involved with the organization as well. We just talked about the professional mentors and supporting the LOT mentor program and joining a committee. Our committees, I would say, is one of the places that we as a board would like this year to build more on, and having people, having teams that have possibly worked in an organization that has a BRG, a business resource group that understands how it works to operate in an affinity group and things like that is very beneficial. So as your organization's employees get more involved with the organization, they can build their leadership skills through being the lead of a committee or being on a committee for the board, for the chapter, and that's ultimately helping them be able to bring something back to your organization. Opportunities for volunteering. We have several opportunities throughout the year, more opportunities when we are out and about. I will say that. But here are some of our top opportunities from last year. Of course, we had our visionary lunches, which was one of our largest events. This year, it will be virtual, but in the future, like supporting and volunteering to help plan that event is one of the top ways that companies can volunteer with us. We do have a scholarship committee that employees can get involved in. And that's where we do 2 scholarships each year. Those committees kind of help us read and connect with those and interview those students that are actually applying for that scholarship. Then communications, the membership committee, and Leaders of Tomorrow. So all of these would offer your staff a volunteer opportunity with the organization. So this is a place where they can learn new skills, they can hone their leadership skill set, and they can stay involved in the community. And overall, when looking at that, like, that's a place where you're building your staff from the outside in. So they're doing things externally in the community that's helping to make them a better associate or employee for you. So that's what I was saying, investing with people. So our goal is to help create value and help to connect the dots. And we understand that it starts with you all and your employees. So giving them opportunities for professional coaching and mentoring is things that we do. Community engagement and hiring. So these 3 areas is what we build our foundation on when working with our partners. So we want to help you develop your employees. We want to help you stay engaged in the community, and we want to get you the employees there in the right seat for you to be able to thrive as a successful business or organization. And the one thing that isn't represented here that I always say is we want to help you retain. So we know that a big thing for Memphis is we get those great associates here in the city, and then they don't stay long sometimes. So how are we helping for you to retain those employees here? So we have a lot of areas, a lot of different things we do. We help with the network, and we allow them to have mentorships, and then they'll have, they can be mentors, and they'll have access to local business executives. So, and by having those things in those areas, we're able to continue to keep them involved and engaged, which gives them a little staying power. So the professional development, the community engagement, and hiring is all what we feel we can offer to you all as partners. So just Daryl touched a lot of these events when he was going through our review for the year, but some of the highlights he talked about our headshots and handshake, which was probably of the 12 events or 12 or 15 events we had last year. This is one of the 3 that we were able to have in person. And then from there, we transitioned into our virtual events, where we did in the month of May a different speaker each month, focusing on a different topic, which was a hit. It kept us going. It kept the momentum going. So our goal was to keep our members engaged, even though we weren't able to meet in person and network like we had been doing in the past. So as Daryl said, we pivoted. We pulled a list of speakers together. We got 30 to 45 minutes each week on the calendar, and just gave people some type of normalcy in what was ever changing at the moment. Next. Then once we got into a groove and we figured out this virtual thing, we kept going. So we did a partnership with several schools where we did a grad school fair. So this was an opportunity for people that were interested in getting graduate degrees, for them to learn more about what schools were available and what they were offering during this time. So that was one of the great things that we did. Then we did the career showcase, and with the career showcase, we had, I want to say, 5 different companies to sponsor, and we gave them a 45-minute segment where they talked about their organization. Some talked about their organization and their D&I goals, and how hiring and what was available. So we had 5 organizations that did that. We had some really good turnout with that. We also had the
Kamisha, I'm trying to get off mute. I'm sorry, and I kept hitting the space button, but I wanted to show on the left side. This was an example too of, you could see the Memphis chapter and DC chapter. We were coming together to hear a little bit about PNC Bank. And so this was a great opportunity because this PNC wanted to reach out to us as well. But this is a great opportunity for corporations that, you know, are looking to reach multiple locations and partner with our other chapters. The virtual aspect has really been helping us partner not only with our corporations, but our other chapters to have a larger reach. So I did want to point that out. And then a little more about the MBA open house. You know, we talked about helping students decide whether they need to get an MBA or not. And I think something that we kind of forget is, you know, you get an MBA, but what do you look into? Do you look into, you know, accounting? Are you trying to go more into management, supply chain, marketing? And so these opportunities really help students kind of figure out, is this what I really want to go through? Is this really the next step for me? And I like to bring that up because, again, I think all of our corporations look at how they develop their employees, as Kamisha mentioned, and career development. And that's a big part of it, is what exposure do I need? What education do I need? And what are some of the new career acronyms that I need to develop? So this is kind of that first step. Thank you, Kamisha.
No problem. Thank you. Then from there, Daryl covered our conference this year was virtual. We celebrated our 50th anniversary, not the 20th. So we had the opportunity there to
Kamisha, there's
do
some
everything
echo.
virtual. We were still able to engage. Yeah, I think it's Daryl.
Daryl, can you mute?
There we go. Yeah, he just did. So this is our 50th anniversary conference. It was an all virtual experience. We had some dynamic speakers there, and Daryl showed the video earlier. So I'm gonna go to the next slide. So as we close out the year, one of our most successful events that we had was the Harvard Business Review this year, and with the Harvard Business Review, we how to cope with the always on feeling. I would say we had probably almost over 50 or 60 attendees this year, and this is where we invite a panel of diverse speakers to talk about a topic. We give them the Harvard Business Review article to match that topic, and they have candid conversations about it. And I don't know if it was the timing or it was the format or it was the speakers, but this year it felt differently. We had great conversation. We had great speakers. We did this in partnership with the University of Memphis, MBA program, and School of Business there. And we were able to definitely talk and support with this group.
And if I could add one other thing too, Kamisha, and I apologize if there's an echo. I really, really want to emphasize here too, because our team is really big on this. And again, this is the National Black MBA, but we definitely understand you can't have a conversation about us without us, but we need leaders of a diverse background so that we can really continue to succeed. And so this was something that the entire team was very intentional about, not with just ethnicity, but just gender. So, you know, we were really happy to have Shayla join us and be the moderator. And she is the president of the National Bar Association here in Memphis, but also, again, having Trevia from Merrill Lynch and Bank of America. And so this was just really great. And if you really got a chance to kind of dig into the background, there were a lot of different industries represented, as well as, you know, again, Dr. Krishan hosting and continue to support us from the academic sector. This was just a really amazing event, and you know, it gets better and better. So this is, you know, I cannot talk about this event as being our signature event enough, because it is just it's just a great opportunity to reach not only students but young professionals.
All right, and then to close out the year, we had two We did the Winter Soul Mixer, which was virtual this year, where we did the Toys for Tots event, where our members in partnership with the National Association of Health Executives. We did that this year in partnership with them and Philip Ashley, and our members were able to come by and drop off toys. Oh, and I'm so sorry, as well as with a Career Girl brand, we were able to, our partnership of those three organizations for Winter Soul to kick off, well, to end the year. Daryl, did you have something?
That is it. I know we are running towards the end. We did want to also let you know this year we are continuing to do our scholarship, as Kamisha mentioned before. We're going to have a virtual visionary luncheon, but we're excited because not only do we have the Raphael Dodds Graduate Scholarship, we have a new scholarship supporting undergrads. One of our lifetime members, past president and newest board member on our national board, Leslie Coleman, her and her sister have funded a foundation scholarship. So we're continuing to support the scholarships for local individuals here on the undergraduate and graduate level. Here's information. I will also follow up with this information to you as well. But again, if you know anyone, family, friends, employees who could benefit from this, as well as their children, please let us know. The deadline is for March 1st, so there's still a lot of time. And then, Kamisha, if you want to close out with our membership and any last questions.
Okay. For membership, we have 6 levels of membership. Right now, we have our young professionals, which is $100, and we have our professional, which is $150, and experienced professional, $200. Daryl, you may need to mute one more time.
I don't know why.
Okay. So I'm sorry. So we have 6 levels of membership. We have our young professionals membership, which is $100. So, and that is for our professionals. And I believe that's new to the professional world. And I want to say it's less than 5 years of experience. Then we have our professional membership, which is $150. And that is for our professionals. And I believe it's with 10 years or more experience. And then we have our experienced professionals, which is $200. All of our memberships can be done on a monthly basis. So the membership can be paid per month for the full year. As well as when we have partners, what we can do is we put your partnership package together. We can include a certain number of memberships with your partnership package. So it would be added in there. And then you all may have like a young professionals group or maybe select people from your business resource groups that you want to participate. And then we can give those memberships to those members. To your associates that are on staff as a part of your partnership package. So that would just be included when you put your partnership package to us as well. We also have graduate students. So that's for anyone that's in graduate school right now, and that would be $45. And then for undergraduate students, it would be $30. And for high school students, that's our LOT program. It is $15 a year for their participation. Next slide. So as we close out this meeting, make sure we want to let you know that there are definitely different ways to connect with us. So we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Instagram, and you can email us. So there is plenty of ways to contact us if you need to. We always welcome the opportunity to have one-on-one discussions with you and your organizations about your goals. We understand that each organization is on a different path and in a different spot on a journey, on their diversity and inclusion journey, or just their community outreach journey, or even with their hiring with where they are with hiring and positions in the organization. So we do take the time. We can always set up one-on-one conversations, like just to go through your goals for what you have and how we can help you as a chapter meet those goals. I'm sure Daryl will send out a packet of information from today's meeting. So as you look through that, know that nothing is set in stone, that we are able to definitely work with you and put some things together that best fits what your organization is looking for right now. Especially in this time, like we pivoted well, I would like to say, in this pandemic, and we still have our members engaged, which is a good thing and a successful thing, especially in this time when there's so many other things to distract you without getting you in one room to have one discussion. So I definitely say we welcome those opportunities. Keep us in mind. We are here for you. And I am going to pass it back to Daryl to close us out. And I thank you all for your attention today.
Well, I apologize again for all the audio issues, all the webinars I do. This is the first time it's happened. Go figure, 2021. It's starting off well. But again, thank you everyone for their time tonight. I will follow up with each organization, everyone, to answer any additional questions, send you information as a hard copy. And we, as Kamisha said, will be happy to set up more time to talk about more details on what your organization is looking to achieve in 2021. So with that, thank you, be safe and enjoy. And I hope everyone enjoys the Valentine's Day weekend as best as they can. Love in the air.
Thank you, everybody. See ya.